Hello and welcome everyone. Today we will talk briefly on what are the main reasons for this war between Israel and Palestine. So leave everything, hold back, now we are going to start. From history we knew that Israel was destroyed by the Assyrians. Later, the Babylonians destroyed Judah and the temple, the symbol of God's presence among the Israelites. Lastly, the Roman destroyed the second temple and make it desolate again. The Bible tells us God destroyed a nation when their people turned ungodliness. But the Quran mentioned about a people who had transgressed twice, and each time God punished them and made their place desolated. And God assured that these people are not allowed to return after such transgressions. Some scholars hold the view that this passage is referring to modern times about Jerusalem. But we knew the Jews that inhabited the modern Israel are mostly not of Jacob. There are many ungodly Jews of Ashkenaz non-Semites living in the state. The Quran and a couple of ayahs clearly implies that Israelis will commit aggression and corruption in the Holy Land and will be punished exactly as their predecessors experienced during the First and Second Temple. In both instances of divine punishment, it was an invasion from an enemy that was mighty in warfare, which attacked Israel, killed thousands of them and took thousands as prisoners. For those who are unaware of what is the First and Second Temple, it is commonly referred to the two times that Israelis in their history build their temple and state, and twice both were destroyed due to the divine punishment. Despite having all blessings, revelation, and prophets to guide them, they abused their political authority, continuously disobeyed Allah's and spread corruption in the Holy Land, exactly as they are doing today. Hence, to understand how a third punishment would arrive, we need to understand their criminal behavioral displayed prior to First and Second Temples. It should also be noted that Surah Bani Israel begins with an invitation to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to visit Masjid al-Aqsa during the famous event of Isra wal Miraj. It's mentioned in Quran verse 1701, "Exalted is he who took his servant by night from al-Masjid al-Haram in Makkah, to al-Masjid al-Aqsa, in Jerusalem." The first part of the journey includes his visit to al-Aqsa, where he led all prophets and messengers that came before him as an imam in salah, prayer, which signifies his leadership status among them. It was during the second part when he ascended the heavens and knowledge of the future of Islam and the world was revealed to him. He learned about Dajjal, the false Messiah, who will be a powerful Jewish leader of a Jewish state, and he also met Isa ibn Maryam, the real Messiah, who will descend to kill the false Messiah. This is important to keep in mind, as a major Zionist plan is to demolish al-Aqsa and build a Jewish temple over it, called the Third Temple, which will usher in the Messiah that they are waiting for. Let us talk about the First Temple to show in detail. A period began in 950 BCE when Israel, under the authority of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salamu, for the first time built its temple on the holy site of where Masjid al-Aqsa stands today. The cause of their first punishment was because of indulgence in idol worship, transgressions of the divine law, becoming more and more corrupt with every passing generation. This is recorded in the Bible when Prophet Isaiah alayhi salamu rose and tried to reform them during the period 740 to 700 BCE. The Second Temple period. During their exile and imprisonment in Babylonia, they repented and Allah accepted and allowed them to return to the Holy Land. This period is called the Second Temple, which started with their return during the reign of Cyrus, the Persian emperor, who assisted them in resettlement and rebuilding their temple, as confirmed in the Quran 17:6. Then after your repentance we would give you the upper hand over them and aid you with wealth and offspring, causing you to outnumber them. The last hour would not come unless the Muslims will fight against the Jews, and the Muslims would kill them until the Jews would hide themselves behind a stone or a tree, and a stone or a tree would say, "Muslim, or the servant of Allah, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him." But the tree Garquad would not say, "For it is the tree of the Jews." Sahih Muslim 2922. With Zionist Israel's more than 70 years brutal occupation of Holy Land, their suppression of the rights of Palestinians and their killing and ethnic cleansing, In addition to military threat it poses to regional Muslim states, this prophecy is as true as a daylight today. In Islamic history, Jews were never fought by Muslims except for a few battles during the Prophet's time 14 centuries back. For almost entire Islamic history, Jews have lived under Muslims peacefully. The following two narrations inform us about the Islamic army that would come for the assistance of the Arab Muslims fighting the Israelis. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said black standards will come from Khorasan. Nothing shall turn them back until they are planted in Jerusalem. at-Tirmidhi 2269, and armies emerging from the east shall advance, and after conquering one country after another, they shall help and strengthen the authority of Mahdi, descendant of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These narrations are very important, especially in the light of the 1979 Islamic Revolution and uprising in Iran, which actively opposes Zionism and supports Palestinian cause and resistance groups such as Hezbollah, which worries Israel. Likewise, they could also imply Afghanistan, where the greatest armies of the 20th and 21st century have suffered their most astonishing defeats. The British Empire suffered defeat in the 3 attempts during Anglo-Afghan wars. After British, the USSR, Soviet Union and USA/NATO, despite their technological superiority, have suffered defeat in the last 40 years by the resistance and struggle of the Afghans. Today, it is this land where Islamic Emirate of the Taliban movement is struggling for the establishment of a government that will be purely based on Islam, for which the world powers, in particular the West, is trying its best to stop from happening. The recent 20-year struggle of the Taliban movement might bear the fruit of an upcoming regional Islamic force that will shape history. Hence, these prophetic narrations inform us that first, the Jews committing oppression will be dealt with and killed. Secondly, the Muslim army that would come to rescue their Arab brothers and attack Zionist Israel will be the end of that monstrous regime in the Middle East. As per late Dr. Israr Ahmed, the famous 20th century Pakistan Islamic philosopher and theologian, a primary Zionist agenda is the formation of a greater Israel on the footsteps of First Temple era Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salamu, whose borders stretched from River Euphrates, Iraq, to River Nile, Egypt, demolition of Bayt al-Muqaddas or Al-Aqsa Masjid and rebuilding of a temple on the site of Al-Aqsa. It is these people, their commander who according to Islamic scholars is Imam Mahdi alayhi salamu and Isa alayhi salamu, who will catch up with Dajjal near Ludd, Lydda, a city in Israel, and kill him there as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also told us. Isa bin Maryam will kill the Dajjal at the gate of Ludd. Jami at-Tirmidhi 2244, with the death of this false Messiah will be the end of Zionist Israel, once and for all Insha'Allah. Follow for more. Thanks for watching the video.